Hello and welcome back to the end of another week. We still have corn. I have no idea when it's going to be harvested, but it's still there. Francis is working in the barn, so there's going to be some background noise. I've started adding just a little bit of compost to the orchard holes, which I will kind of till in and bring the topsoil, which is now covered with weeds, but bring the topsoil back in. Flatten out, and that is where the orchard will end up going sooner rather than later. Francis is in his workshop doing stuff. Out in the garden, what's going on? My crocus bulbs, saffron crocus bulbs, are actually starting to grow in already. Here's a good one. Right there. You can kind of see a little tiny sprout. And there's another one. So that's pretty cool. I did not expect them to grow so fast. So that'll be fun to watch. Haven't gotten around to cleaning out the strawberries yet. The sky right now is really, really pretty. I did plant the shallots, so we now have onion, garlic, shallots, onions, and I was out here yesterday and didn't see anything, and then now I'm filming for y'all, and even the garlic's I mean, I have a lot of weeds, but look, even the garlic's popping up. So cute. So some of those are already coming in, and actually some of the onions are already starting to poke through. So that's pretty exciting. I don't know if you remember, but last year I planted onion sets in the ground here, and it hadn't really started raising, so it was still very clayey, and they basically like rotted in place. I think it was just way too wet for them. So I'm hoping in the raised bed with quality potting mix, they might do better. Obviously haven't done anything with the beds here. However, the fabric is gone here because we have had quite a bit of rain. And I was waiting for it to not completely stick to my boots. But I'm going to start digging out this final in-ground bed. So that is probably going to happen this week. In the chicken area, I moved. So all of the fabric that I was using for weed suppression in the garden, I've now transplanted. I've now moved it over here. So you can see the weed suppression fabric goes all the way to where they dump the mulch, and I have ordered more mulch. I'm just waiting for it to be delivered, and then it goes all the way down there. So basically I'm trying to suppress all of these weeds because, like I said before, the chicken, where's the chicken fence going to? The chicken fence is going to that post. But then beyond there, I'm probably going to have some plantings on the outside of the chicken area just because I like to plant stuff. And I'm actually thinking about ordering a bunch of straw bales to put up in here because the ground, I think at one point, because you see all these rocks here, those were in the dirt. And I think at some point they probably had some sort of driveway that came up that was full of these chunky monkey rocks. Because all in here, I had the brilliant idea of oh, I'm going to clean out the dirt a bit and I'm going to remove the rocks. And then I realized just how many rocks are in the ground here, which is just hilarious. So I did not do that. I just cleared it out and covered it with mulch, and we're hoping for the best. You can see the privacy screen up here has started to get on. I have one more to do that I haven't done yet since we haven't done the fence here. And it's basically going to look like this side. Like it'll go up into the corner and then come down this way a bit. So on the other side, it'll basically go to that corner and then come down just a little bit. And this is the space. I'm not exactly sure. Originally, my idea was to put the compost, the chicken compost area up in here. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. So we'll see what happens. And I think I'm going to keep this wooden thing here and then remulch between the wood and the fence, and potentially put some plantings in here. I'm doing a lot of like YouTubing and reading up on like what kinds of plants can survive chickens, which is basically nothing. But we're gonna try. And I figure if I have it up against the fence, like worst case scenario, I can actually cage it in with like some chicken wire so it's protected from the chickens. But still kind of looking nice in this space. I just don't want it to be like completely barren like this. And it won't be because for one thing, the chickens are going to need, even though we're putting a net up in here, the chickens are going to need like a little lower space to kind of retreat and hide from stuff. So I'm actually planning on using that really long pallet over there. And probably putting it up in here somewhere. And that way they can have some more solid cover, but still be able to potentially see predators. But yeah, basically I've kind of moved on to like, I guess phase 2. I mean, I try to keep my phases small, so I'm sure there's been like a bazillion phases by now. But basically, I really want to try to finish. I mean, nothing will ever be finished. Okay, let me just say that. Nothing will ever be finished. But I am trying to at least get this bed done, and that way I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 in-ground beds. I'm happy with these right now, and I'm still, I mean, these are basically full enough, but I'm still filling them with stuff, and then things are kind of decomposing, and I'm not in any rush to fill these because frankly, I don't have enough dirt to fill those. So if I wanted to get these filled, I would have to basically buy more compost. And you know, people say like, oh, things are dirt cheap. And I have no idea where that saying came from because dirt is not cheap. Especially like over here it's called terreau. It's not pure compost. Like I think pure compost is like literally just the organic material. The terreau has like sand and some other stuff mixed into it. So it's more of a potting soil, but even that is expensive. We've been harvesting beans from the very, very sad falling down thing over there. That is definitely not salvageable. I'm letting the beans hang out. I think what happened is the squash. I think there were a couple of squashes that actually tried to grow up onto the arch, and those things are like super weak. Like they're good for the peas and the beans and stuff, but they are not like strong enough for squash. So I think basically the squash just completely destroyed it. Things to come. Digging out this, finishing the orchard holes. What else? I don't know. Whatever else comes to mind between now and next week. This is the last week that Francis is working, and then he's actually got 3 weeks off. So that's exciting because I have already asked him if we can kind of prioritize putting the fence in. So we have the posts, which are currently being used to hold down my fabric. So I'm going to have to figure out something else to hold down my fabric. But yeah, I need his help to put the posts in because I am a strong woman, but I'm not that strong. And we're going to have a hell of a time because we have that corkscrew thing that helps dig the holes. But we're going to be digging through like 8 inches of those rocks, which is gonna suck. So yeah, I'm trying to recruit him to do that, and maybe eventually they will harvest this corn. But it's sunset here, and it is super pretty. Like this phone cannot capture the sunset here. It's gorgeous. And with that, P.S. I forgot, the reason why I was late was because I was actually out today harvesting chestnuts, sweet chestnuts. Aren't these, Benji's here to say hi. These are awesome. These are amazing. They're so large. But in here, I harvested more earlier, and then I went back out because I'm like, oh, I forgot to get the spiky thing. These things, somewhere in here, I swear I brought one home for y'all. There it is. Okay, these things come in these like super spiky, gnarly cases. But yeah, you go out, there's a, down in the forest, there's a tree that drops these things. So this is my second basket full, and they are chestnuts. So we're going to try to roast some chestnuts this year. Exciting. I'm leaving you. I hope you had a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye.